Okay. All right, it is 6:30. We will call the meeting to order, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Lundberg?
Ullum.
Yes.
Odie. Yes. Saxer.
Yes.
Telcott. Yes. Scott.
Yes.
All right, and roll call everything, correct?
Yes.
All right. With that, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented, please.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. Roll call vote, Mr. Lundberg?
Telcott.
Yes.
Odie.
Yep.
Saxer.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Ullum.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you. There are no conflict of interest disclosure or waiver requests this evening. I also do not see anything under community input. So that takes us to our general business section, and our first thing under there is administration reports with the superintendent report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a few items to update you on here this evening. Inspiration Elementary School construction timeline, as has been previously reported. We are working through that process. Would note that there is multiple items within this board agenda for Inspiration Elementary, specifically furnishings, playground equipment. Business Manager Lundberg referenced those at our last meeting, but you'll see those on the agenda here for this evening. Inspiration Elementary School staffing timeline would tell you that we have staffed out those classroom positions. The breakdown as far as numbers of sections as it currently looks based on the early information we have with the special open enrollment period and third graders staying is we will have one section of fourth grade, two sections of third grade, two sections of second grade, two sections of first grade, and we anticipate two sections of kindergarten. And at Fred Assam Elementary, obviously, there's a substantial impact on their student population. We estimate approximately 390 students based on the information that we have at this point in time, with 3 sections of fourth grade, 3 sections of third grade, 4 sections of second grade, 4 sections of first grade, and then kindergarten is a bit of the question as it depends on kindergarten registrations, etc. The good news on both Fred Assam and Inspiration Elementary, I would say that all of those sections do have space for additional growth as we see increased enrollment in those specific boundaries. So the numbers really fell out quite nicely in terms of that boundary change. Valley Springs Elementary, at this point in time, our numbers would estimate 1 section of fourth grade, 1 section of third, 1 section of second, 1 section of first, and then kindergarten is a question mark with approximately 84 students there at Valley Springs Elementary. So those numbers in terms of breaking down the creations of sections do look good and also give us some room for future growth over the course of the summer prior to next fall. We will be processing the classified staffing and those on-course staffings here in the near future. And then obviously in February, we'll be looking at the approval of new positions. And that's not only for Inspiration, but obviously for our other buildings within the district based on staffing need. You can see the budget process overview. Again, we continually revisit this for your information. I would say the big things coming are the presentation of the 5-year plan, the approval of new staffing positions, and then obviously in March you'll get that preliminary capital outlay request that's so important for us as we need to bid out those large capital projects with our preliminary budget address coming in May, and then obviously our public budget hearing in July. COVID-19 pandemic response plan. I guess what the biggest thing to note is Q3 COVID restrictions continue. We will not make any change to our current COVID restrictions for Q3 as was previously announced. We will continually evaluate those restrictions and mitigation strategies, and if there are any changes that occur for Q4, that information will be shared in late February. It's important to know, we are currently in the process of looking at what COVID-19 mitigation strategies and restrictions we will have to think about and plan for even next fall, because as we talk about staffing positions and programming decisions and those types of things, those processes are really taking place now as we prepare for next fall. Kindergarten screening is open. Folks need to contact their respective elementary school for more information. As previously noted, 2 school board seats. Both seats are 3-year terms. You can see the information there. If you have additional information, contact the business office for more details. Superintendent evaluation timeline is noted for your review. At our next meeting, I'll distribute that evaluation tool. If you'd please complete that and give it back to President Ullem, she will compile those results for discussion in March. Negotiations timeline and wage recommendations are outlined for your review. Would note that our target date would be April 12th to ratify that master contract and bring forward to you classified wage recommendations as well as administrative recommendations. Legislative session is currently in progress. Would note that we utilize Associated School Boards, School Administrators, and Large School Group Association for respective information. If you're interested in tracking legislative information, I would certainly direct you to Associated School Boards. They have a bill tracker there, provides a real user-friendly platform for the tracking and evaluation of those respective bills. Some calendar items just to note. There's no school on Friday, February 12th or Monday, February 15th for President's Day. Parent-teacher conferences will occur in March as outlined. We will have school on Thursday, March 18th, which was previously scheduled as a snow day, and there is no school on March 19th for a comp day. With that, would certainly entertain any questions that you have.
All right, hearing none, there's no board policy. That takes us to our next item, general business. Number 1, one district, one book. An update, no action.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity. Just want to provide you a real brief, high-level overview kind of on where we're at with our special project, One District, One Book, and give you a glimpse into some of the work that's been done and what's coming. Just think that it's important to note, and as we grow, one of the common themes that we hear is how do we stay connected, and connectedness is a critical component of what we do. And I just think that One District, One Book really helps us embody that message of it takes absolutely everyone. So as we look at the project in and of itself, where have we been? We have distributed our books. The Coffee Bean, written by John Gordon and Damon West. Every staff member, classified, certified, administration, has received a copy of the adult version, The Coffee Bean. That book was distributed back earlier in January. On January 18th, at our in-service, that was scheduled to be a full day in-service. What we did is we utilized the morning for some in-service time and the afternoon for some additional work time for our staff. And we held a surprise speaker presentation from John Gordon. It was the staff didn't know about it previously, but we wanted to provide John Gordon for them. And I will tell you that my takeaway from that is even adults really enjoy a good surprise. We received a lot of positive feedback about hearing from John Gordon. And then the week of February 8th through the 11th will serve as One District, One Book surrounding the Coffee Bean. Reader's Digest version of the message within the Coffee Bean is that life is like a pot of boiling water, and you can be a carrot, an egg, or a coffee bean. A carrot gets soft, withers up, an egg gets hard, brittle, and a coffee bean enhances the environment and transforms its environment to be something more, to be something special. So the message within the book is that we have power within us to transform our environment as we work to make a positive impact on the world around us. So the week of February 8th, Monday, classroom, school, and district activities. I'm not even going to try and comment on the things that we're hearing about that are going to be happening in our classrooms and in our buildings. The Administrative Council had a roundtable just to share some of the things that were going on and planning that were going on in their various classrooms and in their various content areas, and there is some really, really cool stuff going on, and we look forward to that coming to life within our walls. Tuesday, much of the same. The book and activities will be going on within the classroom and within our respective schools. On Wednesday, February 10th, all of our students, as well as our community, will be hearing from the co-author of the Coffee Bean, Damon West. We're working with him to create a message and to present to our elementary students, our intermediate and middle school students, and then our high school students on Wednesday, February 10th. It's also important to note that on Wednesday, February 10th, we will air that message or a message from Damon West, co-author of the Coffee Bean, on our Alliance Cable Television channel as we work to incorporate the community into the message, One District, One Book. And then Thursday is February 11th, is the Links Way Coffee Bean Day. And I would note that we are working with our local cities in the Brandon Valley School District. We'll be going to the City Council meeting in Brandon, as well as the City Council meeting in Valley Springs, and presenting the council with a copy of the Coffee Bean, sharing with them the project and the book. And the mayor in Brandon has been so kind as to work with us and help spread the message about what we're trying to accomplish with One District, One Book. And I think we have a proclamation declaring February 11th the Links Way Coffee Bean Day in Brandon, South Dakota. So certainly appreciate his efforts. Also am working with leadership there in Valley Springs to incorporate them with a proclamation as well and work with their city council. Would note that the Brandon Community Foundation is the charity that we are working with as we engage through this process. So, for example, the Links Way or the One District, One Book week, we're going to be offering our staff the ability to wear blue jeans all week long as they engage in these extra special activities, and just ask that they offer a free will donation. All proceeds go to the Brandon Area Community Foundation. You know, I think about some other things that we may do. Anyway, any proceeds that are raised during One District, One Book will go to the Brandon Area Community Foundation, as their mission is to build a brighter tomorrow, and they are doing what the book really encompasses, which is ultimately enhancing and transforming the environment around us to be a more positive place for us to live. So that is One District, One Book. Again, high-level overview. Did not even begin to touch on all of the incredibly cool things that are going to be going on within our classrooms as they incorporate the book through interdisciplinary units, cross-curricular connections, just a ton of really cool stuff going on. But wanted to provide you with a little bit of an overview on what the week looked like. Any questions or thoughts I could entertain at this point in time?
Thank you very much, Superintendent Larson. And thank you also for giving us each a copy of the book. That was appreciated.
Cool.
With that, I would entertain a motion under general business for items number 2 through 5, please. There's been a first and a second. Roll call vote. Mr. Lundberg?
Scott.
Yes.
Talcott.
Yes.
Bodie.
Yes.
Saxer.
Yes.
Hummel.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve personnel items number 1 through 8, please.
So move.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Bodie.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Talcott.
Yes.
Saxer.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, motion passes, thank you. There's some items there for information only for some transfers. That takes us to our communications section, and there are some thank you notes to the Board of Education, from some retirees, and also from the Fred Assam staff for their new computers. That takes us to our board report section. Does anyone have a formal board report that they would like to share tonight? I will share, at the last alternative education meeting with Teachwell, just for those who need a reminder, Teachwell is our alternative school where we send a lot of, not a lot, but some of our students who have different learning styles and maybe possibly some behavior issues to Teachwell, and that cooperative is made up of the West Central School District, the Brandon Valley School District, and the Lenox School District. Those are the members. So it's not your typical school district, if you might say. So they had to do a lot of work, or we had to do a lot of work with COVID, but we weren't eligible for any money. And as much as we tried, we still weren't eligible for any money. But thank you to Mr. Brian Ost and Dave, our business manager. We were able to secure a $500,000 grant from Small Business Administration for a nonprofit entity to use for COVID mitigation. So big thank you to Brian and Dave for that. And so I just wanted to share that with everyone from our district so that you knew what was going on. They started a new program down there also. They have a K through 6, which I don't think we had before. And then also, for those of you who may not know, the curriculum and teaching staff that are out at McCross and Boys Ranch are actually hired by Teachwell. So that's how they keep their certification in there for their school out there at McCross. And so just an update. Anyone else have anything tonight? I think we have a nutrition wellness meeting on Thursday at 3. Anyone else? Everybody's pretty quiet tonight. All right, with that, it looks like it takes us to the end of our agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. There's been a first and a second. Roll call vote, Mr. Lundberg.
Talcott.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Odie.
Yes.
Saxer.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight.